BNB, we start with daily chart. Want to see how we can look for the trade. The only thing is what we can see here. The way is moving is very corrective. Even we see the breakout of the previous top. This is what we explained in my last analysis. We mentioned we wants to see the breakout of the previous top, but as I mentioned, the way is reversing is very corrective, and mostly if we want to look at the only chart, I mean, technically, what we get here, we can expect this one turn to more complex correction. But as we know, the overall market, they're following each other. It depends on the overall market. First things, we need to know how to look at the chart and what we can expect. And the second thing is how we can look for trade. Okay. But for me, when I look at this one, still I can expect this one turn to flat. Technically, when we look at only BNB, that means we can expect to get one more drop. But as I mentioned, depends. It depends on the overall market. If for the overall market, for example, other charts, Bitcoin or Ethereum, this is the start of the up move. We can see the continuation as well. But what I'm right now looking for, if I want to look for buy, what I prefer at least to get one more drop, deeper correction. If I see any any drop, a correction. If this one turn to flat, any continuation from there, I will take the trade because the way is reversing is very corrective. Still, we can expect this one as a in relative to this. That means we can expect this one turn to a flat. That's why if you want to look for buy, we need to be quite careful. Okay, and as I mentioned, if I want to look for buy for the long term, if I get the deeper correction, at least similar to what we have here, then any continuation from there, I will take the trade. Anyway, we move to lower time frame. We want to see what's the next. And if we refer to our analysis, we mentioned we first things we need to see the breakout of 340, which is the previous top. Then the second things we mentioned we want to see the breakout of this zone. Even the price broke, but the way is moving is very corrective. That means we don't need these lines anymore. But overall, if we look at the indicators, we see we have a divergence. And as well here. That's why I mentioned if I want to look for buy, I want to see the deeper correction in relative to this. If this one turn to a flat, any continuation from there, I will take it. But if the price continue as a corrective move, mostly we can look for trade based on lower time frame as a short term. Okay. And even if you want to put this one as a flat, as a first, second, the third one is not the right way to look at this. Or we need to look at this one in the more complex correction. The only things I want to say, if we want to right now, we don't have any trade setup to look for buy. Even buying from here is not really a good idea. It depends on the traders, but mostly we want to be looking for the proper trade setup that can give us a continuation for, confirmation for continuation. Still, we can look for trade for buy, but if the continuation as a corrective, mostly it doesn't give us really good trade setup because mostly every time we take the trade, we can expect to, for example, with the breakout of the previous top, we can expect the price to drop. And mostly, if we move our stop loss to break even, it can tag over stop loss. Okay. Anyway, we need to be quite careful if we want to look for trade. As I mentioned, if we get a deeper correction either from here or even the price move higher, if we get a deeper correction, it can give us better confirmation to look for the next. We can expect this one turn to a running flat. This is the best things I'm looking for. And if I move to 1 hour chart, all right, based on 1 hour chart, still we can look at this one as a flag. Still we can look for buy, but buying from here, it depends on the traders. I won't suggest it, and for me, I'm not looking for buy from here because even if we get the buy, we need to see the breakout of this with previous top, which is 360. Then from there, move our stop loss to break even. Simply the price can tag and drop. If this one turn to a flat, then maybe from there we take the trade. But buying from here, it depends on the traders. It's not really, in terms of the technical analysis, is not really good trade setup in terms of the risk and reward. It doesn't mean the price cannot continue from here. The only thing is we don't see really good trade setup. As I mentioned, if the price give us one more drop, maybe from there we can look at this one as a correction. We take the trade if we get the reversal. If the price continue from here, it depends. If there is a continuation as a corrective, we just let it go. But if we see the continuation as a sharp move based on higher time frame, we see the breakout of this corrective move. Then from there, maybe we look for trade. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update or any trade setup that can give us a confirmation for continuation, I will share. Thanks.